With modern times, he criticized capitalism without a conscience. And that's what we have now. We have capitalism without a conscience. He showed the common man being fed through gears of the brutal, dehumanizing industrial age. He took on the American right wing of his day, its worst evils: hatred of immigrants, contempt for the truth, greed, and the abuse of power. We are fighting those same evils today in the United Kingdom, across the globe. And we need to be clear: shamelessness is not and will never be a superpower.
Recently, Jim Carrey hailed a daring move that deviates from Trump's typical humorous antics. He's not a vicious dog. He's no longer just making goofy expressions. Instead, he's providing a torrent of incisive political commentary that has even the MAGA crowd perplexed. Carr's roast takes a bizarre turn when it compares Trump to a celebrity from his own twisted Truman Show, complete with tinfoil and flying monkeys, hats. He even made a joke about Melania's "I really don't care" jacket design, which must have hurt even more than Trump's spray tan. However, Carr's verbal sparring goes beyond simple animal comparisons. He's also criticizing Trump's golf swings, implying that they hardly move the ball. Regardless of one's political stance, Carr's roast hits hard and hilariously, making it clear that he intends to undermine Trump's authority. People, keep an eye on this circus as it develops. This political showdown is far from finished. Will Trump Twitter himself into yet another tantrum, or will Jim Carrey once again depict him as toast?
No, this administration is a rabid dog, and it's turning us upside down. And all, as far as I'm concerned, it's as obvious as the nose on your face.
I mean, a lot of it, really, truly.
Yeah.
That is a way
My secret is making the wrong choices, but committing completely.
No, I don't think you have. My favorite movie, and I love many of them, is Cable.
Trump is toast.
I like that one.
Trump is toast.
Yeah, man. And so you just kind of digest the news of the
it's
day.
It's an affirmation. Working, not working. Oh, they got you coming and going, man.
In essence, Jim Carrey is stating that Trump has been treating America like a personal toy, and that, let's face it, the nation is in a state of anarchy akin to a shoe that has been viciously mauled by a pit bull. He is not exactly offering praises here. Reign supreme, people, but Carr isn't just saying things at random. Oh no, he has a grievance against Trump's administration. Jim claims that the president is more than simply a bad guy. He is also blatantly lying. That's a full-fledged inferno, not just a little critique, and here's the worst part. Carrey is not amused. Rather, he is sincerely worried that Trump's policies are destroying the nation like an old tennis ball that has been left in the yard for too long. You know, the sort that is torn, damp, and essentially worthless.
These really negative forces like the Steve Bannons of the world are convincing us that we're separates. You can make a bad decision about a candidate. It's not who you are. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean you're different. It doesn't mean, the trouble with what's happening right now is...
Jim Carrey claims that this represents America at the moment, and to be honest, he may be right. The nation is in chaos, much like Trump's comb-over after a hurricane. But things get interesting from here. Jim thinks Trump is taking on more than he can handle, and if when Jim says that Trump has too much on his plate, he's probably right because, as we know from The Mask, he is an expert on oversized jaws. It's like watching a chihuahua try to eat a steak. It may seem funny at first, but then you start to worry that it might choke or even tweet about its situation while choking. It's a classic. Donnie Diapers blames everyone else for indigestion while promoting stress-eating democracy. Carrey isn't only making fun of him, he's giving him a whole buffet of truth bombs. Trump is attempting to consume more than his largest ego can handle, and who knows, perhaps it's precisely what will bring him down with a political beefsteak so big it clogs his Twitter fingers. But let's face it, this isn't just entertainment. It's a reminder that, even though we may find the circus's absurdities amusing, the tent is on fire. Jim is criticizing us for letting Trump divert our attention with his pointless tweets, because when your president spends more time insulting people on Twitter than addressing issues, that's a major problem, though. People, if Jim Carr is correct, hold on tight. Trump may ultimately fail because of his own conceit and leave a country wondering how we ever took him seriously. History won't be kind to him. It could just Photoshop him into a meme with little dogs and huge steaks.
What's going on right now? There are generations growing up right now who are learning to lie, that lying is okay, that we are parentless, you know, and we are babysat by the television, we're taught how to think by the television. That's the dangerous time.
Jim Carrey has gone full Picasso on Trump, turning goofy faces into sobering satire. His most recent art series features paintings of Trump as a variety of characters, including a cunning witch and a piece of toast. Yes, a piece of toast, apparently suggesting that Trump has grown a little crusty lately. Masterpieces Trump is spotted hanging out with flying monkeys, which are a cross between The Apprentice and Wizard of Oz, although they wear less ruby slippers and more red ties. Critics differ in their opinions. Some people praise it as excellent satire. Despite criticism that it is crueler than a high school bully's doodles, the artwork of the automobile is becoming more well-known and creating more buzz than his most recent films. Coughing. During an appearance on Bill Mayer's program, Carrey gave a direct criticism of sonic cough. He's depicting Trump as a problem, not simply a witch, by calling his administration a carpet bombing of indignation.
To relieve the stress, you know what I mean? It's a stress reliever.
And here we have...
That's Space Force.
That's the Space Force, yeah.
That's the beginning of Space Force. I mean, you try and you try and you give it all. You give it all to her.
Jim Carrey artistic endeavors go beyond that. He is also criticizing Trump's decision to make lying an Olympic sport. Trump joked that his nose was growing so quickly that it may prod someone's eye, but below the comedy lurks a genuine worry. Carrey fears that by normalizing dishonesty, Trump is teaching kids that lying is okay. He says, "We're raising a generation of many Trumps." Is Jim Carrey just making this up? Maybe regardless of how accurate he is, he's in today's polarizing environment. It is undoubtedly a tremendous feat to spark discussions and humor about politics. With a magnifying lens in hand, can Jim Carrey, who previously spoke through his butt cheeks, really fix our country's unity crisis? He has set out on a new mission that involves exploring America's deep divisions rather than searching for missing pets. We are more split than a pizza at a restaurant, according to a strange reality that Carrey has discovered. Carrey rejects this divisive narrative, claiming that we are all just humans wearing different colored team jerseys, emphasizing our shared humanity, even though it appears that an astounding 77% of Democrats and 83% of Republicans hold the repulsive opinion that the other side smells like skunk spray. Some may reject his viewpoint, though, arguing that instead of tackling difficult societal issues, he should concentrate on his humorous abilities. It's important to take into account that before becoming famous in Hollywood, Carr worked as a janitor and struggled financially in Canada. This modest background may have given him a deeper understanding of the typical American than Gwyneth Paltrow's knowledge of kale smoothies in a time when supporting the other side feels like betraying your beliefs, like putting ketchup on a Chicago hot dog. If you're a pro-ketchup advocate, you are obviously contributing to the issue. Carrey promotes harmony. He makes the argument that we are not as different as we think we are. This idea of togetherness is nearly as soothing as seeing Donald Trump with a normal skin tone, which we will happily embrace for the time being but hold off on since there is more to come. In a shocking development, Jim is exchanging his Ace Ventura badge for a tinfoil hat. According to his most recent hypothesis, Trump's America is a huge Truman Show, and we are all extras while Trump the actor is still unaware of the cameras. Are those tweets coming from a writer's room? Could Melania be the director in disguise, justifying her "I don't care" jacket to Jim, worried that Fox News is taking care of us? This is the worst kind of negligent parenting. Lying has gotten so regular in Washington, D.C. that it's considered terrible. Imagine that T pays. Pigs can fly, according to generations of children, because Donnie Jim wants us to overcome this delusion, just like Truman did when he discovered his escape route. But where is ours? Is it concealed under Mount Rushmore? We investigated, and there isn't a hidden Trump face here. Jim urges us to look. Beyond the daily drama of Trump's Twitter feed serves as a classic reminder that there is a world outside of our screens while we quarrel over popcorn varieties and the theater catches fire.